Now, Microeconomics video number 6, let us learn about consumers' equilibrium and demand. Who is a consumer? One who consumes goods and services to satisfy his wants is called a consumer. And a consumer is one who knows how to solve his problem of choice. That is, he knows how to spend his income on consumption of different goods and services. A consumer is also said to be a rational consumer. What do we mean by this? A rational consumer is one who will try to maximize his satisfaction, which is based on his preferences. That means his choices, his likes. Now, the satisfying power is also called utility in economics. We call this want or satisfying power to be utility. Okay, the units of which is utils. The units of which is utils. Now, the measurement of utils can be approached in two different ways. Utility can be measured by two different approaches. The first one is called the Cardinal Utility approach, and the second one is called the Ordinal Utility approach. These are not new words. This we have learnt in our previous mathematics classes in our primary. Cardinal utility is, or simply cardinal numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then ordinal numbers are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So measurement of this utility by this cardinal approach is called as the Marshallian utility approach, because this was given by Marshall, and Hicks gave the ordinal utility approach. So this theory is called as Hicksian theory. Now we are going to learn both cardinal and ordinal utility in class 11, but this particular chapter we are going to deal with cardinal utility approach. So consumers equilibrium and utility analysis, otherwise called the Marshallian theory. Now a consumer consumes goods which gives him utility. That means which gives him satisfaction. How many goods does he consume? Or how many units of a good does he consume? And what is the satisfaction that he gets, or what is the utility he gains on consumption of goods and services, and how they are measured is what we will see here. Let us assume that here in this particular example, the consumer consumes certain units of good. Then what is the utility he gains for the units that he consumes? For the first unit that he consumes, he says he gets 10 utils of utility. When he consumes the second unit, he gets 9 utils. And in the consumption of the third unit, he gets 8 utils of satisfaction or utility. Then the total utility represented by TU, total utility is given by the sum of the utilities of all the units of the commodity consumed. What is the sum of the utilities of all the 3 units over here that he has consumed is given by TU equal to 10 plus 9 plus 8, which is equal to 27 utils. So the total utility that this consumer gains is 27 utils. Now, there is another measurement called marginal utility or MU. See, the consumer is not consuming 1 unit. He is consuming some number of units of a commodity and gaining some utility. So then what is marginal utility? It is the satisfaction that a consumer derives on consumption of every additional unit consumed. Now he doesn't stop with 1 unit, isn't it? He consumes one after the other. So what is the marginal utility? It is the satisfaction on consumption of every additional unit that he consumes. Let us see how it is calculated. Now we have taken this Q, that is units, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the total utility that he gains is the sum of the utilities. So the first unit gives him 8 utils. The second he gives him 14 units. That means after consumption of these 2 units, the total utility is 14 units. Then under the consumption of the third unit, he gains a total utility of 18 units. On the fourth unit, he gets a utility of 20 utils. On consumption of the fifth unit, he again says he gains only 20 utils. Whereas on the consumption of the sixth, his utility drops to 18. Now here we are interested in marginal utility, which is the satisfaction on an additional unit. Now, this marginal utility on consumption of the first unit will be the same as the total utility because he is consuming only 1 unit of the good, which is equal to 8 utils. The same as total utility. Whereas when he consumes the second unit, it will be the difference of these 2 units. That means it will be 14 minus 8, which is equal to 6 utils. Since total utility is a sum of these two, it will be given by 8 plus 6 equal to 14. Whereas marginal utility is the satisfaction derived on the consumption of the additional unit, the next unit. Now if he consumes a third unit, what will be his marginal utility? It will be given by 18 minus 14, which is equal to 4 utils. On consumption of the fourth unit, his total utility is 20. But what is the marginal utility? Only on this fourth unit, that will be given by 20 minus 18, which is equal to 2 units. Now on the consumption of the fifth unit, his marginal utility becomes 20 minus 20, which is equal to 0. Now on the consumption of the sixth unit, it will further drop down 18 minus 20. 18 minus 20 is equal to minus 2. So that is how marginal utility is calculated. Now if we try to write down the formula of it, it will be given by, let us say, this total utility is the sum of the utilities. If you call this to be MU1 for the first unit, this marginal utility of the second unit, marginal utility of the third unit, marginal utility of the fourth unit, marginal utility of the fifth unit, and marginal utility of the sixth unit, then the total utility of 6 units will be given by the marginal utilities of all the units consumed. That is MU1 plus MU2 plus MU3 plus MU4 plus MU5 plus MU6. Alright, which is equal to, you add up all those 8, 6, 4, 2, 0, minus 2. Okay, so that is what you will get over here. Now, this 6 is because we know 6 units. Suppose he consumes n units, then that will be given by MU1 plus MU2 plus, and it will go on till MUN. Okay, this can otherwise be written as sigma mu. That means all the marginal utilities add up to give this total utility of n units that are consumed. Alright. On the other hand, marginal utility will be given by, let us say, the nth unit. Marginal utility of the nth unit will be given by the total utility of nth unit minus total utility of n minus 1th unit. That means if we want to calculate this marginal utility of the 5th unit, then we will have to subtract the 6th unit, TU of the 6th unit minus TU of the 5th unit. So that will give us the marginal utility of the nth unit. Okay. So these two formulae are very important to calculate total utility as well as marginal utility. Now diagrammatically, we are taking the same example. So let's write down these MUs since we have already calculated them. Okay. Now we will plot units on the x-axis and marginal utility and total utility on the y-axis. This is our 0. So how many units are we consuming? We are consuming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 units. Okay. Let's write down 7 also. Then what is the scale that we are going to take over here? Let us take 1 centimeter equal to 2 units. So this is going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. 20 is our last number. Then here we will take minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. Okay. Now if we go to plot, let's plot the TU first. For first unit, the TU is 8 units. So first unit TU is 8 units. Second unit TU is 14 units. So second is here and 14 is here. Third unit 18. So third unit is here, 18 is somewhere here. Then fourth unit it is 20. Fourth unit is here, 20 is somewhere here. Now fifth unit it has again 20. So it will be somewhere here. Then sixth unit is 18. So it will again come back to this. Join all these points and you get a curve like this. Okay. And then let's draw MU. So for first unit MU is 8, which is here again. For second unit it is 6. So units 2 and 6 here. Then 3 and 4. So 3 and 4. Then 4 and 2. So 4 units, the utility is 2. And fifth unit, the utility is 0. And sixth unit, the utility is minus 2. Now let's join these points. So this is our TU and this is our MU. So what's happening? TU is going up and MU is coming down. It is also becoming 0 or negative. So MU can become negative. But TU, it will go up, it will not become 0. Since the total utility means the sum of the utilities, so it can never become 0. Now if we separate these graphs, let's say we are going to draw a separate graph for the total utility and another graph for marginal utility, then what will happen? Then we see that for 0 units, the total utility is 0. See, it's the same thing. We have marked TU on the y-axis and units on the x-axis. Similarly, marginal utility on the y-axis and units on the x-axis, right? Now we will plot them again. So here for 0, it is 0. 1, it is 8. So 1 is 8. And 2 units, it is 14. So we'll go somewhere over here. And 3 is 18. So somewhere over here. 4 is 20. Here, this we have already done. But now what we are doing is we're trying to separate these two. For 6, it is 18 again. Okay. Somewhere here. So if you try to join these, you will find graph that is like this. Okay. Now for marginal utility, for 0 it is nothing, so again we'll start with 0. Then for 1 it is 8. So for 1 unit it is 8 utils. 2 units it is 6 utils. So 6 is somewhere here down. Then it is again 4. Third one is 4. And fourth one is 2. So 2 is somewhere here. And then fifth unit it is 0. And sixth unit it is minus 2. So going to be somewhere down there. Okay. So if we join these two, all these points, we get that it is falling down. Now, what's very important over here is this TU is maximum over here. Okay. And here MU is equal to 0. Surprisingly, this is the maximum when we are at the fifth unit. Just see, fifth unit. Fifth unit is here for TU. Fifth unit is here for MU. So, the place where TU is maximum, MU is 0. MU is 0. So this is very important. And see, it's always on the rise. When it is on the rise, the MU is positive. And when it reaches its maximum, it is 0. And when it starts falling or it increases but at a decreasing rate, then MU becomes negative. So that's what we will write over here. We will write MU increases, TU increases, MU is positive. When TU is maximum, MU is 0. And when TU starts falling, this becomes negative. So these 3 points are very, very important for TU and MU.